At what point, Stuart, is my hair not regulation? I mean, is this appropriate length for those officers that I mean, could you not call it style in the future? Would that not work at some point? Don't know.
Sure. I mean, it's a little bit poof, but that's okay. Still within the poof limits.
It's funny. In this episode, for when a temporal anomaly, I called out by a couple of people saying, but Starfleet doesn't wear lipstick. Excuse me, Dan Troy, extremely red lips in this episode. Very lipstick. So I want to go back to that person 2 years ago and say, no, sir. Season 3, episode 1. They use lipstick.
All the females wear lipstick in Starfleet.
It just depending on subtlety, yeah. Some you can tell, some you can't. Alright, that's it. Yeah, we are. Well, Skype's being pleasant to us. We actually have correct levels. Awesome.
We got some super chats too. Olivia Julius, $2.
Thank you.
Hashtag Dr. Crusher food slot. Yes. Ozzy Maderos, $5. Skeleton hands.
No
surprise.
As you guys have noticed, to celebrate the change into uniforms, I'm wearing my one, which I legitimately do have to do the maneuver to make it all crease free. So just to celebrate, you always feel a bit nice in uniform. Although it's way too red in a. It was funny when I filmed a TOS uniform. It looked gold, even though it was the right green, and this looks bright red. It's not. It's the correct burgundy, but it looks bright red. It's a universal constant of the thing looking different than it's meant to look, because it's not how it looks on yeah. Very weird.
Well, Thribs has joined the joined at the rank of commander, so thank you, Thribs. Nice to see you.
Welcome. It's great to see members you see all the time. Take that plunge with us.
Indeed.
Especially in these times, it does help a lot. Yes.
Well, today, guys, we're going to be reviewing Season 3, Episode 1, Evolution.
Yes.
And Samuel's going to share this around, of course. But we also have a special announcement for tomorrow's live. We have, if you haven't checked out the promotion video, we have the ever awesome Doug Drexler joining us live. Same time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 in the UK, 2 o'clock Pacific Time. And he will be here answering questions and just hanging out.
Yep.
And look forward to seeing you guys.
But here. Stuart, why should we announce it when us from the past can announce it? Because we have a video announcement.
Right. We did a promo video, and we want you to see it. So we're going to play it now, and we're going to play it at the end of the stream as well.
Yes.
Just to remind you guys. And, yeah.
So, mute yourself, Stuart, and I will pop it right on.
All right.
Hey everybody, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Cockings, and we've got an announcement!
Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 29th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. in the UK, and 2 p.m. on the California coast, we have a very special guest joining us to join us for our live, where you guys can come and ask him questions, have some good discussion. And who is our guest, sir?
Mr. Epic Designer Man Doug Drexler from many TV shows, but you might just know him as this guy.
Why are you asking me my name?
It's funny.
What is your name, Doug? I'm Doug Drexler, and I worked on Star Trek a long time. I've been in more departments than anybody in the history of the show.
And also, this guy.
You guys are here. I didn't even see you come in.
You lied to me. You're wearing pants.
No. Those aren't pants. I actually spray painted my legs and butt black.
And how can we forget this guy?
Hey, I'm Doug Drexler, and welcome to Trekyards.
Is that easy?
Oh, and, of course, this guy.
And it was driving me nuts that they were going to be doing Star Trek, and I wasn't there. And John says, why don't you call up Bob Justman? And I'm like, are you crazy? I can't. And I go, yeah, why don't I just call up Bob Justman? He's right. I call as a professional,
Make a call. Yeah.
I got on the phone and I said, I need the Paramount. And I called the Paramount switchboard and I said, in my most adult voice, I said, yes, this is Doug Drexler. I'd like to speak to Robert H. Justman in the Star Trek Art Department. And she said, one moment. And I'm like, John, you're putting me through.
He's so much of the guy we even went to his house and had a brilliant lunch.
When I opened the front door, they were both naked at the front door. That's the truth.
So that guy, Doug Drexler, wonderful guy, designed so many great ships and things and worked on BSG and others. Definitely worth coming on to that. Live Q&A with the man himself.
That's right. So we hope to see you guys there. So mark it on your calendar, set a reminder on your computer or your phone, be there, and come and ask your questions and have some fun. So until then, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Coggins, and he will be Doug Drexler.
This guy.
It was really weird seeing them for the first time in person because there's usually this, electronic shield that separates us from one another and also quite a long distance. And I didn't count on how frightening it would be to actually meet them in person.
So yeah, those are the times, guys. Do come along.
Yeah, it should be fun. I love that promo that you put together. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you. I tried to... Oh, video camera died. Yeah, I tried. I know I had that idea, but it's nice to see it all come together. And it's nice because some of those are unreleased clips because they're in between the show, so...
Yeah, they're like the...
So that's the first time...
The unseen footage.
Yes. But it's kind of nice how much stuff we have with him that I was able to like pull that stuff out. And even like the thumbnail, just like... We did a photo shoot with Doug, so I knew that, yeah, we're seeing him at his house, do a photo shoot. So you got stock images to use. It's important stuff, but it's... an average user wouldn't think of doing a photo shoot with his guest,
Yeah.
What?
David Bessick puts in $2. Wonderful, my 3D modeling hero, LOL. I can't see you. All I see is please launch Sparko Cam to activate this webcam.
Huh. Okay,
Yeah.
Cause it's the correct one on. Now?
There you go. Now I can see you.
Weird. Oh, then everyone went. Weird. But yeah, join tomorrow. Same. Basically, it's the same as normal live, just as in time-wise, just with Doug. And you know you want to see Doug. Yeah.
So bring your questions.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can keep him from ranting for 3 hours.
Wow.
Because he goes off on tangents, so we might have to cut him off once in a while to ask a new question.
We should always play a drinking game. We should always play a drinking game of how many times he go off a tangent to talk about Dick Tracy when it hasn't there was no direct question. So, oh yeah. Oh and yep no twice in the same story.
No, that's fine. Anyway.
No, we just know Doug is what I'm saying. We just know what he's like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so we hit season 3, Stuart.
We did.
Start off with, is this a good opener? Take of that, questions, whatever you want. In the grand scheme, is this a good opener?
No. I mean, it's a good episode, but it's just not a good opener. I think they could have led with something a little bit more like, look, here comes Beverly back. Let's pick her up at the Starbase. But no, I mean, it's not a bad opener. It's not one that I would expect. It's like episode 2, 3, somewhere around there.
Hey, better than Child and better than Farpoint.
This is all very
so
true.
It's still the best opener of TNG so far.
That's very true. Put in that context, yeah.
In a very half-full sort of perspective, yeah. Did you enjoy watching this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. It's actually better than I remember it. And yeah, I enjoyed it quite well. I love how it started out too with like ship porn right off the hop, and well lit, beautiful. Looks really
actually good. Lit, like dynamically lit. They definitely had a new thing they were trying out. Yeah, and if you remember from our, I guess yesterday's live, couldn't remember the story of this at all. There are some episodes that, because I was thinking about this the other day, yesterday after the live, is that we never had TNG DVDs ever. Only a VHS then Blu-rays. So if I'd want to watch TNG ever, randomly, it'd be on VHS. And I didn't watch any VHS really beyond a certain point in the early 2000s.
They had DVDs. I got the DVD box set.
We never had DVDs.
Oh.
The family
gotcha.
We never got on DVD.
Oh.
And I never, apart from things like Parallels, which I watched because I enjoyed it. So you think, pre-DVD era, I watched them. And that already puts you about 10 years ago. So, and you have to, I literally pick a VHS and, so yeah, this one I knew a few visuals, but I was like, I'm really watching this for the first time beyond the sense of deja vu, and so I was like, oh, it's guest actor, Mr. Guy from Scrubs. You're not being a dick most of the time. Cool, Kelso. His name, yeah.
It's Mr. or Dr. Stubbs.
Kelso and everyone else.
I absolutely I want to go off on a bit of a tangent here. I absolutely hate the name Dr. Stubbs. If Stubbs is an actual surname, I feel sorry for anyone that has it. Because we had a cat once that had no tail. It had a little stubby tail. So his name was Mr. Stubbs. So when I hear Dr. Stubbs, I think it's just so stupid. So it's just the name Stubbs in general. I can't take seriously. Anyway, sorry. Olivia Julius puts in $5 and says, I give this episode 4 Foleys out of 5.
It's a lot of Foley.
Okay. It is. Taurus 69, $2, 47 likes, 86 watching. Hit the like button. 88 watching now. Everybody, yes, hit the like button.
Although I realised that because we skipped, I shared while the thing was going. You didn't give your super chat spiel, so I want to give that super chat spiel before we really go into it, and then we'll go straight into it.
Ozzy Maderos, $5. I give it an 8.6 out of 10 skeleton hands. There we go. And what did you say, sorry, before I read the super chat?
We skipped the super chat spiel, so do you want to just give that briefly? So people know, because we do rely on them, so it's always worth reminding.
As you guys know, super chats are important, so if you guys want to help us out, help with the channel, help us out, and get your voice heard, your comment read, your question answered, all that jazz, send us a super chat, and we'll have to read it on air, and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about for however long we need to talk about it. It's a good way to get noticed, especially in a chat like this. A lot of times stuff goes by pretty quick when we're doing other stuff, and we might miss a comment. So if you want everyone to know your comment or question, best way to do it. And as always, help us out in the description. You know the routine. I hate saying that every time because it's always the same.
But they love you for it.
No, they don't. Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $2, 52 likes. Awesome sauce. Hashtag TNG like spike.
And Big Puff Buttles, that's okay, man. Just enjoy the review.
Yes.
It's all optional. It's all optional. So, Stuart, do you remember what you thought of this? Oh, hello.
And one more thing about this episode. The reason I remember this episode so well,
yes,
because I used to have the TNG After Dark screensaver. And one of the screensavers on that was the nanites that would go across your screen and eat your screen. So I remember the After Dark screensaver packs for TOS and TNG were fantastic. And I wish they still had them. I still have them in here, but of course, new computer, you can't. The newest computer doesn't understand what the old one can do.
Those files don't exist anymore as a file format, so why would they?
Because it's a new supercomputer that can do things that the other one couldn't, so why can't it just go, oh, look at that. I'll just lower myself that level for a minute.
It's like you can't plug this into the Apollo 13 by USB. They don't think in the same way. Both computers don't work in the same way.
Doesn't matter.
Well, you know it does.
It's a computer, so. Anywho, yeah, so that's one of the reasons I really remember this episode, because of the nanite screensaver.
Yeah, cool. But do you remember? Well, then, what was your going into this thoughts of this episode? Do you like it? Did you not like it before this rewatch them, or was it kind of a? It
was kind of an for me. Going back, it is actually, there's a lot of good here, especially, I mean, just coming off season 2 and realizing how good season 2 was. It's amazing how much this is already ramped up as far as the costuming, the lighting, everything just looks better. And even just having Beverly back and just having these characters being the characters they're supposed to be, and just feel like, you're in it, it's just, it's really good.
And one thing to call out, and sorry Matt Ballman who's in the chat who worked on season 2, but season 1 was a nice remaster. As soon as we hit season 2, I commented to you, there's so much more grain and looks a lot less crisp and sharp, and something's happened, they settled with the quality of the image. This one, I was like, damn, that is a really clean, crisp looking image in the Blu-ray. Like, that looks immaculate in terms of visual. Like, it really elevates the viewing experience where it just looks crystal clean and beautiful. So instantly, wow, beautiful looking remaster, and all the effects. I mean, that's why the thumbnail's this beautiful looking stuff that while not as animated as it would now be in modern day, it's still as artistic and beautiful, as it was then. The art still remains. So this, like I said, was basically a first watch for me, and I thought it was actually pretty well written. I liked the guest star. Wesley was balanced between being a little bit old Wesley and a good new Wesley. but that could just that could be a symbol of that to his inexperience and youthness. And in fact, you could argue that his youth annoyingness is that half that people like less, and then as he becomes a competent officer, he gets older. That works to his advantage. So it kind of actually works on that level. Yeah,
well, they were trying to correct all of the comment, like the reactions to Wesley with this season for sure. You'll see him getting a little bit less annoying, more competent. Not that he wasn't competent before, but a lot of people have had issues with Wesley since the beginning. And here, I think, is that you see the turnaround in this episode of the character. So.
Yeah, and he's also it was pretty ballsy to start with him. He's such an unusual opener, and I can imagine people at the time thinking, "Oh, we're gonna start with a really gentle Wesley was asleep scene." Huh. Okay, fair enough. But already
Season 2 was all a dream.
But already we have more signs of things to come. Like you say, better space effect, better costumes, but also even more focus on data. Whenever we can give Brent stuff to do, we're going to give him stuff to do. And that's going to be a constant, for better or for worse. And I'm wondering if there's a pretty heavy focus on Beverly in this episode, considering, she gets way more than Riker, way more than Troy, even though Troy gets some stuff. Geordi gets just functional stuff. I wonder if that was intentional, as to not only just show, look, she's back, but also, because, I remember part of the reason she left, one of the many things, she wanted more meaningful stuff with her son, because she thought that was important. And this whole episode is meaningful stuff with her son. I wonder if that was a deliberate overcompensation to bring her back in exactly where she wanted to be. Did you get that vibe going into this one? Because it's quite heavy, that sort of thing.
Possibly, yeah. And just to show the growth of both characters. Wesley's not the kid that he was when she left. He's more responsible, more grown up. And she's, read the fact that she's missed 2 inches. Because she said that's how much she missed being away for a year at Starfleet Medical. So, I think it was all 3 of those things, accounting for the characters, as well as, maybe making her happy as a actress. So.
But I thought she was good, and we'll get to her stuff later on. But let's jump in then. Yeah, we start on a pretty high, for its time, high octane. Well, no, it's on the Wesley, but I mean the visual effects of this entire sequence is pretty high octane. Is what I mean. The overall sequence is big and impressive. But yeah, Wesley wakes up. You get the most obviously painted prop in the history of TNG. Not a good close up, guys. It looks very much like a painted resin prop. So lay yourself down in the first 5 seconds, but HD. Hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, they should have had drool coming out of his mouth. It would have been good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we find out that he didn't set his alarm, and he's late for his duty shift, which kind of gets a smile out of Riker, but he knows he works hard, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
He closes the little lid to his experiment, which is going to be important later. And then we get a nice shot of the view screen and
that's beautifully composited. That's really well composited, considering we saw some less good ones just like 2 episodes ago. That's really well done. Yeah.
So we're in a binary star system. This little star keeps siphoning off the big star, and then every 196 years there's like a explosion, a release of energy that happens. So that's why Dr. Stubbs is here. Because he's going to be studying the decay of the neutronium as it explodes off the star. So yeah. And I love how he explains it, the interstellar equivalent to Earth's old faithful, which is the geyser in Yellowstone Park.
But
he's been working his whole life towards this.
And it's a very gentle start. It's very sciencey. Good Star Trek. You don't quite know if it's an A plot, a B plot, who cares plot. It's kind of like, science thing happens, because it could be whatever. And you get lots of lines. You get Picard coming out and being the music. He's asked, should you double check the thing, the egg you call it? He's like, I've been checking for 20 years. I'm good. And Picard's like, oh.
Yeah, you can lay the egg when ready. I've been checking it for.
And then we get a good prop that I know gets reused quite a bit. And again, beautiful compositing with the thing as the light comes down. Nice and gentle. And then a really terrible stunt fall to go, ugh! I hit a very comfy carpet and I'm moving drastically. plays very silly, but the rest of them wiggle okay. But obviously, all you can picture is nothing's moving and they're doing this. And you know that, yeah, sure. Something goes wrong, Stuart. Everything's going wrong, really.
Something does go wrong. Actually, I'm just looking at the egg real quick.
Yep.
And is it just me, or is that one of the exocomps?
Looks like it. I mean, it's not, because it was never that big, but...
Well, I know, but it's got the same feet. It's got the same shape. Anyway.
Yeah. Unless this is the miniature bay, but they also walk around it, so that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It just looks exactly like an exocomp.
It does. So there's also like a shuttle that's that as well. They tend to reuse frames, but yeah.
So ship's not responding. They're actually starting to head right into the path of the stellar matter. Go ahead.
And you get a stupid line saying, "Shields! Shields aren't working." It's like, sorry, you're like 2 minutes from a sun. 2 suns, your shields aren't up? Do you remember how Beverly had a whole thing in a few seasons' time about getting to a sun's corona and surviving? Radiation's really bad. So that was a stupid line. Because shields need to be on. Come on, guys. Again, we're fair here. That was a dumb line. You should, doesn't make any sense. Big problem with that.
Yeah, but for the audience that doesn't know that, I mean, it makes sense that the order for shields would go. I don't know.
But that's the same thing as that same thing's giving Disco pass of torpedoes coming out of the nacelles. Because they could be in the nacelles. Who cares? Can't give things a pass if you're being fair to everything else. Just stood out as a they should know better line.
Anywho, they finally kind of get a hold of the situation. And I love how Picard's like, "Computer, explain the control malfunction." "No malfunction has been recorded." Shit. Like, that wouldn't be good. And then they get Dr. Stubbs down to the sick bay because he's hanging under the railing.
And Happiness Gnome says, Season 3, TNG finally gets decent. No Happiness Gnome. We've done all the episodes. Season 1 had some pretty good episodes. Season 2 has lots of very good episodes. It got good in Season 2. There's been incredibly good ones in Season 2. So go back and watch. You'll see that's a complete, misnomer. It's like saying Beam Up Scotty. Everyone thinks that was said. It wasn't. Everyone thinks Season 3 gets good. No, it was good before then. It just wasn't always good. Yeah, it still makes me laugh about the dude having flung, because he doesn't look hurt at all, and doesn't work for me at all. And also, what happens? They hit the edge of the thing and then stop, and then move away, because it kind of plays odd.
Yeah, it looks like they do flare into it a little bit, yeah.
But we never quite see a hit and leave. It doesn't.
No.
Not a well played end of the sequence, but probably running out of. They didn't know what they were doing acting wise, so they just kind of put stuff there. But no, not the most effective sequence. Visually amazing. But yeah, I love the whole "what's wrong? Don't know." Or something went wrong, and I found myself very confused as an audience member, thinking, "What even is going on?" You know what I mean? They play it very weird as they intend to.
Yes. All right, so we're down in sick bay, and I don't know what's wrong with Stubbs, but anyway, we find out here that Beverly's been away at Starfleet Medical for a year. And yeah, this is where she says, "Oh, I've missed about 2 inches of him," because she compliments, having the mother and the son here on the starship, and it's just a nice little conversation. They didn't dwell on her coming back. It was just like, oh well, she's back now. It's just standard procedure.
It's nice. It's a functional part of the story. They didn't. They gave her a purpose. They brought her back, and there's so many little moments of she gets to act the emotion of why she was fired. But it's but like I said, it's not dwelled upon. Although I will say she has a terrible haircut. I guess she was off. Yes. She was going off another project and didn't have time to actually get her actual hair. She looks, not terrible. She looks one of her worst styles.
Well, that's a wig, by the way. She wore a wig through till season 5 or 6. That's when she started using her own hair.
How come?
I have no idea. She had long red hair, but she had to. They did a wig for her.
Maybe it was just because it was controllable, same haircut. I mean, a wig.
Could be.
If it's the same haircut every time, I mean, why?
Took an hour and a half to get her in the wig. So.
Well, it's a terrible wig.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Stubbs mentioned something about having his mom on board and how he would handle that. Probably not so well. And Wesley's like, yeah, I know. He's like, oh, you didn't read that unauthorized biography on him, did you?
Yeah.
Is that all he does is to fly the ship and read books? And you find out that he's earning credits for Starfleet Academy for his time served on the Enterprise, which, we already kind of knew, but still good.
And I actually really appreciate how this character actor was given. He's given a lot of little bits, constantly. Most of his lines were character based. He put a bit of himself into them, as in the writing allowed him to. So I thought they gave a lot of effort to make this an interesting persona. But since he's an allegory to Wesley, what Wesley could become, and it's a Wesley story, they also wanted to give that deliberate. He is, as he says later on, he was a genius child just like Wesley. And he is the summary of a person who does go the route of no fun, no play, all work. He can be talented, but he can be tightly wound and barely anything under the surface. Whereas, you could be genius, but also you could make not have a really good life. Because if all of your life summarizes by I threw a thing into a star and made science, it's like, is that really the best thing to do in your life? Well, he thought so. But I like his dialogue a lot actually, and he evolves quite interestingly. And they give a lot of time for these small moments, which is sort of unusual. So I appreciated the attention there.
Nanite Negotiator puts in $2. Thank you,
Perfect
Jill.
name, huh? Oh, because obviously because you changed it.
The writer wrote Best of Both Worlds and Unification.
Well, I like one of those.
I like both of those. But then we have the food slot in sickbay is going crazy, and she's like, computer, fix food slot. Food slot is functioning properly. She says, fix it again. Says the same thing. Then she says, deactivate food slot, and then it stops with the fluid. So.
Yeah, weird food slot, not replicator. That was weird.
Yeah, kind of.
But I absolutely love how there is the replicator effect inside the glass the entire time. That's a well-achieved little composite. I'll give him credit for that. It's a very effective little moment. But it also plays like a, huh. Yeah, I like it.
Yes, sir.
And then she comes in and plays with her collar for 2 minutes.
Yeah, which is very distracting.
Yeah, but it was a choice, Sure, why not?
But she asked Picard, how would you feel if you were the only 17-year-old on board with his mother hanging around? And I love how Picard's like, inhibited, I suppose. But then again, I'm not Wesley. And she's like, oh, tell me about him. Well, he's his father's son. Honest, trusting, strong. No, tell me about him. And then, what were you doing when you were 17? Probably getting into more trouble than Wesley was, I assure you. She's like, so was I. That's what it's supposed to be 17. But not everybody's the same.
No, but you want the round experience for your own child, don't you? You don't just want to... but it's funny that, she knows Picard. She calls him John Luke, and it's very played very gently. And it's weird that she's, how's he been? Has he found love? Has he ever? And Picard's like, I really don't know, Beverly. The hell are you asking me for? I don't like children. I barely like your child. I'm not going to care about his love life. You should know better, Beverly. I know you're just venting, but Jesus, Beverly, I do not know or care. Sorry. It's a weird moment, but it's like, Beverly.
I've had things to do while you were gone instead of babysitting your kid.
It's like Riker's barely babysitting because he has more responsibilities than Picard in some ways.
Yeah, and you gotta, when he's leaning on his back on his desk, take a look at the uniform. You can tell it's a brand new uniform. It's still kind of stiff in the shoulders, the shoulder pad area. It just doesn't sit right. It doesn't have a natural feel to it yet.
Yeah, the weird bulge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been... But he does
this is the first scene they filmed or something with the new uniforms.
I could see that, actually. But they are more crisp.
Yeah.
Instantly
they're
more
awesome.
Crisp.
I love the two pleats, or the two things here. It's hard to see on most of them, but...
I haven't got any pleats.
No.
Yeah, Data has them later. Very obvious.
Yeah. Lookout Tower Vlogs puts in £2.
Thank you.
The episode after Pulaski fell down the turbo shaft. LOL. Yeah, they just left her there. They didn't bother scraping her up. We need a replacement doctor. Let's get that old chick back, or the young old chick.
There should have been an episode there of them trading off though. Would have been nice to bring back Darth Mulgrew for one to say, like you had, like in Babylon 5, you had both captains, and other times you bring both. I mean, it would have been confusing to the audience, but it would have been kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like a fan canon-y thing. But again, the reaction wasn't great to her, so great for her or to her.
Yeah.
But this is nice. And there's a moment of, where you get this obvious sense they wrote in the, I'm sorry you left. I'm sorry you had to go through that. And all that, I'm sorry to be away for a year. She's like, yes, I know. And you can sort of see in her eyes like, wasn't my choice.
Yeah.
Neither in the script or the reality. But at least there was a little hint there. They didn't brush it over. It's there just as subtext. And I appreciate that, actually.
Yeah. Then we get the scene down in Shuttle Bay with Wesley and Stubbs.
One of several of these scenes, Stuart.
Yes. He's talking about the Wunderkind, which is Wonder Child in German, and how, we're different. We focus our lives a little bit differently. And I don't know. It's an all right moment. Nothing fantastic, but
it's weird because the guest actor is good, but he takes most of the limelight here. And whilst it's meant to be a Wesley Shine scene, he doesn't quite shine. Partly he's not as good an actor as this other chap, which there's a slight disparity there.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's all about this experiment, and you get the context, but it could have been a bit more focused. Mm-hmm. And there's like 3 of these, and they all kind of blend together as the same scene with roughly the same information, roughly the same message.
Yeah. Now, earlier when I was saying it looks like the exocomp, we only really see the back of it in the full size shots. I wonder if the smaller one, or the main Shuttle Bay one, was the exocomp model, and then this is just like this back part built.
Possibly.
I don't think you see the full size one beside them, do you?
Not beside them, no. Just when it flies off at the end, which could be miniature bay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because it'd be easy to lift off a miniature, and it would be this full prop. So that would make
Yeah.
I could buy it.
But the scene ends with a red alert, and Wesley's like, "Get to your quarters."
And I'm thinking it's likely also to do with the Doctor since he's here. So no, Doctor to the bridge. It's like this is his mission. No, he would go to the bridge. Standard procedure, Wesley. You should know that. At least he should do anyway.
Not necessarily. I mean, just because he's here for the science thing doesn't mean that a red alert means he automatically goes to the bridge, because it might not have anything to do with his research.
Or
as it turns out, it's a Borg ship approaching. So.
Oh my God! Best of both worlds came early. Dun.
Yes.
Well, who will say
sensors
fire this
clearly
time?
indicate the approach of a Borg vessel.
But Stuart, show it on sensors. Show magnification 50.
Yeah.
It's cloaked. They can cloak now, Stuart. It's a cloaked Borg vessel.
Of course it is.
But
Olivia Julius, $2. Was the baseball thing a little too forced to you? Well, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, that's the next. Yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah.
But I like this. I was very surprised by a Borg reference. I'll be honest. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Cool. And they don't seem calm, but they don't seem confused by a full Borg ship being in their space. This hasn't happened yet, has it? We're not at Locutus yet.
No.
So I would think there'd be more like, how do they get into our quadrant? Because you'd think it'd be more big news. We've only seen them like 80,000 light years away. You know what I mean? But small thing. Nice reference though.
Well, I think they knew gearing up for the end of the season. So they wanted to drop the Borg a few times during the course of the season.
Yep.
So yeah, then we find out that they're going to track its trajectory, and all of a sudden it's gone. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden the conference room door starts flying open and shut, and so we're dealing with a potential breakdown of the main computer.
Oh God, the motto all over again.
Yeah, but I love how Picard's like, Data and Mr. Riker, when you're free, come join me in the conference room, or as soon as possible. It's like, why are they not just following him?
Didn't even hear that line, to be honest, so I don't know.
Oh, well. And then he walks by, goes to the conference room, and the next scene's in the conference room. Mm-hmm. So, all right, cool.
But they weren't busy, so they went straight away.
Maybe. I think they just had to make sure that somebody took Data's station, and then they went. But so here we find out that there has not been a system-wide failure aboard a starship in 79 years.
Except 2 years ago on the Yamato. But that was alien interference, but...
Exactly, yeah.
But still, technicalities. It's like there hasn't been any disease from non-disease infections in 150,000 years, yes, but you've just taken away all the... It's weird to give a number like that.
It's actually a reference to the Excelsior's transwarp program, but anyway.
Which was also sabotage and not...
No, because it failed after that. Everybody says sabotage, but it was sabotage for that one instance, and then it never got...
Well, because there's no canon, for that. That's, it must have failed because it never succeeded. It's not actually in the canon.
SWTH for $2. Starfleet must be using Windows ME. So yeah, then Stubbs, well, I love how she's like, Mr. Stubbs is waiting outside, and he comes right in. What's going on? If we miss our window, we won't have another chance for 2 centuries.
Well, he starts out very politely. I know you have everything. I'm sure you have everything under control. But what's going on? I love how like calm he is throughout the entire episode. It's quite weird, and they give a reason, but yes, and he pushes, doesn't he?
Well, he goes on to say that I'm here because we have Starfleet, and if this mission fails, many questions will be asked. And Picard's like, well, my foremost responsibility is to this ship and her crew. And Mr. Stubbs is like, I keep calling him Mr. Stubbs, Dr. Stubbs. Well, I would rather die than leave. Well, I don't believe you're speaking for the majority of the crew.
That is a beautiful set of lines. That is crafted dialogue. That is wonderful.
Yeah, that was really good.
And Picard's acting, because he's so respectful. The thing is, Picard gets it, right? Stubbs isn't being unreasonable fully, right? He's passionate, but he's calm. He's also not been briefed. So he is not to know there are problems. So he's just expressing, come on, guys, I'm sure you're fine. Can we just, what I mean? So everyone's sort of in the right now, just different perspectives of a similar coin. So I love how this is being handled so far. It's very adult and very mature. Same thing, but you know what I mean? It's mature sci-fi.
And Collins says, don't forget the USS Saratoga being crippled by the whale probe and every other Starfleet ship in orbit and space dock. But that's only because it's an alien influence. They're referring to just the operating of the ship. Anyway, that's fine.
They talk about blue screens of death from just your PC.
Yeah, so, pretty much. In
engineering, and they do some scans because they well, I find it hilarious that they're so reliant on screens and scanners when screens and scanners are broken. I wish they'd said at some point, can we even trust our displays? Because they're so, you know what I mean? They don't even do... They keep about going to manual, but they rely on things.
Yeah. Well, that would make a good argument for having a window as a view screen. If your view screen malfunctions, you can't see anything. At least you have a window if it's a window. And I don't want that argument to be a thing.
Well, no, I just meant for like... He's looking. I know. He's looking at his, I know, I agree. But he's looking at his internal schematics, and you do see the same like shimmering effect right at the start. So I was already sensing something's inside the ship, like, which is nice. It's there even if you don't know about it yet. Although, did you think this was too slow a burn of information?
No, I think it was just fine.
Okay, almost too slow. Would I get you to go
almost close?
Okay,
but there was a short enough scene, and just kind of yeah. I think it was good.
Okay.
We find out essentially the computer circuits are disintegrating.
But we can reboot. But oh dear. Yeah.
Oh dear. And I love Wesley's face like, shit.
Yep.
Goes back to the lab, checks, does a count with his thing, finds out there's 2 nanites that are missing. And then we're in 10 forward, which is empty, and he's crawling around putting out little ant traps, it looks like.
It's daft, but it's fun. Like, it's nice to see the set in a different way, and therefore you sort of like, okay, sure, why not? Why not? You know? And then Guinan makes her appearance.
Yeah, and he's like, I didn't think there'd be anybody here. We're under quarantine. Everybody's on lockdown. Social distancing, get away from me.
That's funny.
And she's like, well, I've never been very good at being confined to quarters, as my husbands will attest.
I bet you they said in this episode, we've got Whoopi. She only could make 6 of last year's. That wasn't very many. Let's give her really cheeky things, like cheeky bits of information. They'll make people really like, every time she's here, let's have something cool happen. Which I think is going to be a recurring thing, like her with Q. Like, really juicy stuff. So there's a lot of those little lines with her. And it amazes me how calm this actress is a great actress. We know that, but she tended to play more buoyant characters, kind of like Samuel L. Jackson would play more exuberant characters, right? I always think sister actors and stuff is quite exuberant, but she's so calm, and you could assume a very like non-performance, but there's so much in her pauses and her tone, and she's choosing to modulate her voice. It's a crafted subtlety, which is very tangible, and I bet she loved like, not playing her average role. It's good.
Yeah.
This one really shows off, I think, her character most.
Yeah, I agree.
We're back in 1 second if you want to jump to about the scene, or should I jump to the next one?
No, stay on this one. There's quite a bit here. Here we find out Wesley says everything actually might be my fault. I'd been working on a final project for advanced genetics. It's essentially it's on nanotechnology, studying the nanites we have in sickbay in the genetic supplies. So we find out that nanites are little tiny robots with gigabytes of computer memory, whole gigabytes, designed to enter living cells and conduct repairs. They're supposed to be confined to the lab, but he fell asleep. 2 of them got loose. And his experiment was he was seeing if he could combine their skills and increase their usefulness. It's just a science project. And I love how after he says it was just a science project, and it's like, a doctor friend of mine said the same thing to me once. Frankenstein was his name. Wesley says it's almost impossible that they could be responsible for this, and then his mom calls his cell phone and it's like, where are you? You're supposed to be in your quarters, Mr. Crusher. Oh, I had some things to do. Yeah, well, orders are orders, mister. It's like, oh. Anyway, and then as he's leaving, Guinan says, do you think you would have passed? He says, I always get an A. Or you think you're doing well on the project? I always get an A. So did Dr. Frankenstein. Just it's a good little scene, and it's good exposition done well, because he's just the way he explains it. It doesn't feel forced. It's very well written, I think. So
yeah, he's definitely having fun. This is taking the character to give them things to do, real things to do,
But it's a science experiment for school.
My own problem with the concept is that people have tried this before, all over. Like, it's such an obvious thing to do that people in the labs, when they built 1, they'd test them with 2, and they would see the problems with multiplication, and they would have stopped it. So, you'd think he didn't research this as an experiment before he tried. He just tried it he probably had a dream one night and went and tested it without researching it. Because I do not believe for a second this hasn't been done. It's obvious. Do you know? 'Cause he's not.
I think he just started the experiment maybe and didn't know about the replicating. That's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just him being a bit overzealous as I want to prove myself, so trying a thing. Although it's interesting we get nanites, so these aren't alien nanites. They are medical, average, healing sub ones. It's like, oh, they're normal. Cool.
Well, they're designed to infiltrate human cells, so yeah. But they're not. Yeah.
But they're played as like normal. I thought it was interesting. I mean, it's kept on the laboratory conditions sort of thing, but pretty normal. And I do like Guinan's final expression at the end. Like you said, we tell them only if it's... well, I will tell them, but only if it's the right thing, and she doesn't have to say anything for the point to come across. It's
She's like, yeah, he says, you won't tell anybody, will you? And she just looks at him and he goes, no, I will. It's like, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good scene.
Yeah. Stubbs back on the bridge, and
try it again.
Picard's asking LaForge, so what's going on? And manual restart successful. So you turned it off and turned it back on again. Good job. They did a full factory reset. So they try to launch the egg again, and all of a sudden Stars and Stripes Forever starts blaring ship-wide. It sounded like.
Yeah, that's what they say, yeah.
Yeah, and so they disconnect the power to the bridge, but that would assume that the rest of the ship still... That would be really annoying. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Well, yeah. there's a few problems with that concept. But briefly, Danny Burrows says, Trekyards, hey there! Watching you guys from the Canary Islands.
I saw that. That's awesome. Wish I was there.
Cool. Yeah, well, howdy. Please enjoy the weather for us.
Yeah. Actually, it's really nice here today. I was outside most of the day. As you can tell, I look like crap.
Oh. Yeah, I don't like the fact they say power off to the bridge and there's still consoles and lights on. It's like, if the power's off, why are the consoles... I know that would make sense to keep the... How else can you control the ship? But it's either power off or you only shut off the lights. You know? It was a bit redundant to say power off and it clearly wasn't off.
Yeah.
But it was a cool effect, though.
I love how the scene ends, too. Number 1, the bridge is yours, such as it is.
Yep.
And then Riker's like, gee, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a good look. Anyway.
Baseball!
Oh, God.
/ this scene part 2, because it's the exact same setup. You can tell he just filmed it back to back for a day.
Yeah. And again, we just see the back of this thing, so I think they just might have built this one part. But, so it's basically the conversation is, you know, and we're not going to be mentioned in the history books because if we miss this chance, there's like no second place kind of thing. Then it's asked about baseball. And Wesley says, "Oh, my dad taught it to me before he died. And so do you use the holodeck? And men like us don't need holodecks, Wesley. In our minds. I got all the statistics memorized. I got all the stuff memorized. And he just plays whole seasons in his head. Now, I got to point out something funny here. Autocorrect. I tell you. I was making my notes on my phone. So men like us do not need holodecks, Wesley, okay? I typed this in. You know what I have on my screen right now? Men like us do not need homosexuality, Wesley. Thank you, autocorrect. Anyway.
Heard and understood without comment.
I just thought that was funny.
Well, then answer the super chat from earlier. What do you think of the baseball? Was it over the top? Was it too much?
I don't think it was too much at all. I mean, I love that this is the first reference to baseball, I think, in Star Trek. And then later, Cisco is a huge baseball fan. So him and Stubbs would have got along fine. But no, I don't think it was... I think it was fine.
Yeah, so baseball isn't really a thing in the UK. And so I only have the social zeitgeist of it being the American thing, you know. And so the way it was said was absolutely fine to me. I thought nothing of it. I was like, oh yeah, baseball, cool. I mean, he likes an old sport. I mean, Archer watched 0G, whatever it was.
Water polo.
Yeah, PI different well remembered. PI different hobbies. And you know, it's fine. I thought it was gentle enough. It's just rounders. Well, it's kind of rounders, just with different sensibilities and different scale.
Fleet Pass Swiftback, $2. Autocorrect fail. Hashtag damn you autocorrect. That ducking autocorrect.
But yeah, I thought. I mean, this is having now seen these screen caps is the same scene 3 times, slowly building up these two people. But Wesley doesn't quite shine. He doesn't come across as learning that much.
And it's such a shitty lit scene. The walls are gray. It's dark. Stubbs is wearing gray. Wesley's wearing gray.
Yeah, that's true.
There's just nothing there. It's just like,
Because the red light flaring adds a lot of flair, but it'd be too dramatic for the audience. Like, you need to have like a pad, or like 2 pads, each having a pad that like lights the face with like different colors or something.
Or turn on the shuttle bay lights. That'd be nice too.
Or like they open a thing on the device, and it's lighting them with a nice cool like blue reflection on their face. Yeah, but I do like the fact that, you know, like I say, he's genius. Although he's called a wonderkin, but all we know is that he can build a thing that can detect something. Like, they don't really give us enough that he's a genius, I don't think. Like, he's obviously clever, but there's so many talented scientists in the Federation. What makes him actually the wonderkin that he's presenting himself as? You know? Like, if they're meant to have that exact parallel, he's not quite there, I think, to have that same, like,
Well, we don't know enough about him. He's just
Yeah.
guest of the week. So,
but if it lessens the effect of what I think they're trying to go for.
well, they explained it in dialogue earlier when Troy's talking to Captain Picard after he leaves the conference room. They talk about his, how he's very strong-minded and very focused. He's been working on this for 27 years or something. So you can just tell the determination there that it's kind of mentioned in that way. So.
Yeah, but you can be doing something for 27 years and not be a genius.
Kind of disagree there. I mean, if you're that single-minded and focused on one specific thing, I don't know. Okay.
But yes, he goes to the lab and he's trying to do sciencey things. And he does discover bits and bobs, and then his mum comes in and worst possible time says, "We need to talk," and you're like, "No, come on, wrong time, wrong place." He's trying to be nice, and it's quite a nice conversation. It's Wesley's fighting his corner, she's fighting her corner. They're both right, which is nice. He's not being hot-headed. He's basically saying, yes, I get probably what you're saying. You're not quite expressing as you should be, but that's okay. You're not trying to be full force. But I took on responsibilities. I was given this. There aren't many acting ensigns. I was given this special thing. I intend to be amazing with it. I'm trying really hard, and now I'm trying to save the ship, maybe. She's like, well, maybe do less. And he's like, oh my god, Mum. You guys want so much from me. Why are you saying we do less?
Well, this is the transition scene from little kid Wesley to growing up Wesley. Because she asks, are you doing this on orders? And then points out, you're only 17. And that's when he says, but I'm also an acting ensign, Starfleet officer. And then it goes on to explain kind of what's going on. And I love how she's like, well, I'll help you. What are we looking for? And that was good. That was well done.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think he was pretty similar to this last season, but yeah. And then we get to see the nanites.
You didn't see him last season.
No, but we did. I mean,
I know, but this is the kid telling their parents that I'm growing up now.
Yeah, to his mum. But we get a pretty good exposition scene, I think, where they add enough information for it to be worth, it's a good development of the story. And it has a good visual of them eating and then replicating, which I thought that was kind of cool. Riker doesn't really have any part of the scene, but that's okay.
Well, he says the computer circuits is like candy to them.
Yes, that's it.
So now they can self-replicate. They've evolved, and they are starting to spread.
Well, not just that, but because they eat and reproduce in that same few moments, and that one they count as an evolutionary generation, they've evolved thousands of times. So what were hours ago medical droids are now 10,000 generations above that. Although they never quite go into if they've actually developed their circuitry. They all, the fact they're showing these bugs that obviously are a bit look a bit random in their construction. I wouldn't call them neat nanites. So I guess they've evolved, but they don't quite give us a sense of how much they've evolved to. Like, have they evolved in size, or are they just more complicated on the inside? Because if they're so small, how much circuitry can you keep evolving on the inside? Or is it just software? You never quite get that answer. Don't necessarily need it, but they're evolving, whatever that means, to intelligence, whatever that means, and they've got knowledge, whatever that means. Kind of reminds me of that one with the drill, the water molecules of life in season 1. Kind of similar.
Yeah. I love Stubbs here. He's like, why does a mosquito call an exterminator? And they're like, well, we can't kill them because they might be sentient or whatever. And then he compares it to something. He says, at least it's an actual viable life form. How many viruses have you killed, Doctor? Like, I kind of love his argument because I kind of agree. I'd be the same way. Like, just get rid of them. It's pretty easy. I wouldn't consider them sentient, but...
Yeah, I think Picard is jumping a little bit to they might be alive. You have no relevance for that. Yeah. Like you said, one single cell things can eat things. I mean, and these are designed to take apart material, biologically. So, I think the script knows they're conscious and therefore will give them the benefit of the doubt when there's really no evidence for that yet. Yeah. It's like with the first season one, it had the flashing light. It had a thing it was very early on established this is life. That I think was better done. And so you're right, but the Stubbs argument makes sense. It's more his tone. But that's why I kind of like everyone here is sort of playing an understandable argument all the way until the end. There's no baddies here, there's just different perspectives, and, you know, maybe at this point they couldn't communicate, so maybe you could argue they are just machines, but by the end of their evolution, they are more than that. But there's still hours and generations in between, so, you know, the longer you wait, the more you should respect their potential life, I guess. It's interesting.
Yeah. But it ends out with Wesley work with Data to try to remove them safely from the computer core. And then we get actually a really cool set, which is the main computer core, which we didn't see enough of. I kind of like this set.
Well, it's an access room to the main computer core, but yes.
Yeah. So they're trying low-level gamma radiation bursts to slow them down. And Dr. Stubbs is like, we'll try high levels. Well, that will kill them. I know. And you, like, blast the thing.
It's an incredibly immediate scene. Very immediate. Like, it was very oddly edited. Very, like, sudden. Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you wonder how he got that into the computer core and stuff, and what he smuggled to create that sort of burst. Who the hell?
It's not a weapon, because the way he holds it, it's like this.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't know.
I assume it's a medical tool that you like, or you know, a science instrument that you learn to modify. But yeah, it's very quick. And then Dave's like, "No, sir." Very strange.
And then Picard is up in the ready room with Riker talking about Gulliver's Travels and comparing them, and all of a sudden, do you smell the change in the? Yeah, and they run out, and the bridge has been flooded. Well, like, it doesn't say how much of the ship has been, but nitrous oxide, toxic levels. Yeah. And it's really cool the way then Riker does the manual air filtration.
And it gets clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have been a digital effect. Like, they put smoke as a post effect because it's just so immediate.
Yeah.
Is it? And if you hear the ready room scene, you can actually hear a subtle.
Yeah.
And I noticed what's happening there, but I like their way of deducing it. Although you can imagine that someone on the bridge, like Worf, should have said, "Captain." Oh, sorry, hold on. Captain, we've got. We're currently being gassed. Should I not tell somebody because it's happening right now? But that's okay. I'll give him a pass on that.
Well, Yusuf Pines says, shouldn't the guy in Ops be on top of that? Yeah, but his panel would have been locked out, most likely.
Or given false readings. That's been a constant. Yeah. I can absolutely buy that. I think it's actually quite a fun little scene. It's nice to see the bridge be affected and shot differently, because we always see it the same. The bridge has a lot of unique treatment in this episode.
Yeah. And Katie Carr says, are the bridge uniforms different than Picard's, or am I seeing things? You're not seeing things. The helm officer and stuff is wearing the season 1-2 uniforms without the collar, because they didn't make a whole new wardrobe for everybody. They still have the jumpsuits. Even like episode, like in season 6, season 7, you'll see the odd one that has no collar.
Yep. Well, their background uniforms the entire time, all 7 years.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to not be that, and that's fine. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. I mean, it would have been a little bit nice if, like, the people in front of camera could have been the same, but I mean, it's absolutely fine.
But they bring Stubbs on the bridge and find out the nanites in the upper core are all dead, and then they retaliated. And then Data's like, well, actually, because Stubbs is going on about them not being alive, and Data says, well, you actually may have proved that they have a collective intelligence because they actually retaliated. So. And then it very quickly goes to extermination might be the only way. And Picard kind of agrees with that, which is odd. They can find Stubbs to his quarters, and he asks Data if he can find a way to communicate with these things. But then later, they decide to actually get rid of them. But that's coming up.
Yeah, and you can see the uniforms, 2 lines, and Brent. It's very obvious in this one. And yeah, this is an odd scene, actually, because there's sort of damages. There's a constant sense of the ship sort of falling apart, but we never really get anything actually falling apart. So it kind of is like teasing the audience. It's like, stuff's breaking. What does that mean? Oh, nothing. Doesn't mean anything. But I like how he comes in with Worf. I like that bit. And I'm wondering, because it feels such a weird timing that he sends the guy to his quarters as a punishment, and then the second the order's gone, lights come back on. Is that the alien entity? Because they kill him in the next. They're trying to attack him like 2 scenes from now. Is that them sensing? We are pissed at this guy. These people might not be trying to kill us. But it's like the same second. It's really bizarrely. I mean, did you get that vibe at all? Well, now I say it. Did you think?
I didn't even think of that. And now you say it, maybe. I just think it was quite a coincidence.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they were monitoring necessarily what was going on, but
I think it's implied they are pretty smart. I mean, they just tried to kill the crew, so I think they are obviously monitoring something. And then wasn't it weird that Picard leans down like that?
Yeah.
It's like it's never happened before, will never happen again. It doesn't even say anything. What? Except for like the end bit. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's very strange.
And we get Stubbs in his quarters, and Troy comes in and talks to him, and talks about how his personality is so controlled and so focused and so tight that if something goes wrong, it may snap. And I mean, again, this is that alluding to the genius, right? How geniuses have these expectations of themselves, and if anything goes wrong, then so
it's good to see Counsel Troy counsel. I like his very calm, removed attitude from this. And we skipped one dialogue very early on. Sorry, but there wasn't, I guess, a shot of her in the earlier scene where he's in the ready room and he's saying we should kill them. She starts to analyze him, saying, "Oh, this is how you feel," and he counters saying, "You know, please get out of my head or stop looking at my."
Oh yeah.
I did write it down. It's a very good line, and then it's like I will express my feelings if I want them said out loud. So excuse me.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's a really, again, fair point. You are basically invading someone's privacy without their permission, expressing their beliefs and thoughts without permission. You don't have a right to do that. He's not an officer on the ship. He's not under no one's command here. You're being,
He's very conscious of his image, and he'll tell you what's on his mind, whether you like it or not. And if he doesn't want you to know, he won't say it. So yeah.
Turn off your beam into my soul. I mean, that's really a good line. That's really interesting. But you know what I mean? Like when you think about it like that, Troy is invading people's minds, and she has no right to and he chastises her. It's like, no, I don't want this. Stop. And so it's not a good thing for this scene, even though she's trying to help. But really, she's just trying to convince him. More than help. I think she's just trying to get him on board.
Yeah.
And he also
she leaves.
Well, the leaves, but he says, your facade. He says, well, what if, Counselor, there's nothing beyond the facade? What if I am only my surface? What if I am only what I present as being? This is me. I'm empty, but I am this genius scientist. Which is an interesting, it's an interesting concept. He doesn't mind being shallow because his shallow is genius and science.
Yeah. And then she leaves, and he sits down and kind of the way he looks ahead is like he's taking everything she said into consideration, which is very well played.
The direction here is good, and it's mostly subtle. They've learned a level of finesse which they didn't necessarily have in season 1, so I definitely appreciate that actually.
Yeah. So up on the bridge, Data is trying to establish communications, and he's messing around with things. And then we're back in Stubbs' quarters. He decides to take a little bit of play a baseball game in his head.
A baseball break.
Yeah, and then we see everything go on the fritz, including the lights turn on, and then the replicator attacks him, which is some good scenes there.
And he jumps out of the quarters at camera.
Yeah.
It's such a TV move, but it's kind of fun.
Right, there's a commercial break, you can tell.
Yeah, oh yeah. Dum dum da. No, absolutely. I want to say the pan over from the flowers to him, those quarters look magnificent. Like, don't you just want to stay in them? Like the science version do? Really good, set dressing and lighting, and really nice.
And even a nice fish tank in the corner, which we saw in the other scene.
Yeah.
You see the fish moving around. It was really nice.
Yeah. But talk about a way of making crew quarters look different. Great job. That's how you redress. And for the lighting is actually really well done here. It's 3D effect on a 2D plane. It's very nicely done. And yeah, the shooting at him is a little bit comical, but I mean, it's effective. They probably could have done with some interactive lighting on the scene because it's shocking him, but the scene's still black. Really hard to do since they actually do it on set, but it would be nice if they could have done that somehow. Maybe I don't know, do something. But yeah, back on sickbay, and he's not dead. Although I genuinely thought he could have been in a coma because I didn't remember this was going. So I was like, is he in a coma? Don't know. He looks kind of ill. So.
Well, then Picard comes in and he says to Picard, "They're trying to kill me. Help me, Captain. You need to protect me." And that's when Picard goes up to the bridge and says, "All right, on my order, we're going to gamma irradiate the entire computer system."
But his tone is very, I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's very captain-y, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's well played.
And then just before they do, Captain, I have established contact.
Yep.
So get Mr. Stubbs up here. And he says, "You're going to explain yourself and apologize." He's a kid.
Yeah. And then how much, though, did you think that when the guy in Riker entered the turbolift, the turbolift was going to malfunction and do something? It's like, why focus on the machine turbolift if it's not going to hurt him? Like season 1 with Geordie, I was like, they're going to do something. Oh, no, he's on the bridge. Weird setup, but it's okay.
A little bit. May have been a cutscene. Who knows? But Data offers himself as a conduit. They can enter through his fingers, and I love how Worf's immediately like, if they get control of a Federation or a Starfleet officer, it could be trouble, especially Data. Anyway, and then Data's like, well, it's a risk, but it would show trust on our part, and it could be an important step towards peace, sir. How very Starfleet of him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the idea of this, though, to be honest.
It is kind of a dumb idea, but...
They seem absurdly calm, as if they read the script that nothing bad happens. Because,
exactly.
You know, because in, one season, Data takes over the entire Enterprise effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And these will be computers who have access to the full ship's computer system in a computer's brain... who has full access of a zoomy speed, and we've seen how Darj and Sutra can do all these cool things like with speed and strength. Oh my god, the trust, the ignorance, the trust level, it goes beyond. I mean, I would have put, we're going to disconnect your legs, disconnect your, do really stringent things. Because Data can kill everyone in this room in 2 seconds and kill Worf. It's terrible idea and terribly played. Unless they know it's going to happen, fine. So I don't give them credit. I think it's a stupid idea. It should have been like, can you plug him into the holodeck and let them create a fake body? You know what I mean? That would have been a smarter idea. It's fun to see Brent act, but it's any other situation it would have been, oh my god, oh my god. And I don't like their way of dealing with this one. It's just the writing that lets them down here, I think.
Yeah.
We also need a quick solution. We spent so much time build up, we kind of have to...
Yep. This one wraps up pretty quick.
It does wrap pretty quick.
But they zoom in, you see little nanites entering his...
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it is very cool. And then we get the Brent Spiner. "You are very strange-looking creatures."
I am Brent Spiner. I can act many different ways. You will pay me to do so many things in this season. And then play a random human sibling of myself that is absolutely law in season 2. Reveal. Confirmed. But yeah, it's a good scene, but very, very easy.
Oh, very fast,
Stuart,
yeah.
how are they... I'm going with this, hopefully, and hopefully you'll say the catchphrase. Stuart, how are they going to get out of the situation where nanites want to kill people and get rid of the situation, the Enterprise is at danger, and get Data safe?
Hardly an inconvenience. Oh, how's it go?
Super easy.
What?
Super easy. Super easy.
Oh, super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it really feels that way.
My brain locked up. I knew what you were going for, but...
Yeah. I mean, would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I thought the same thing here. I mean, because they look at Stubbs, they're like, "Why did you attack us?" Well, he says, why do you attack us?" Picard says, "We meant you no harm. Nanites said we were exploring, and it's like we are also explorers.
Yeah.
And then they look at Stubbs, and I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna get his arms ripped off.
Yeah.
But then he says, we asked for your forgiveness, and they say we agree. I mean, yeah, it wrapped up very, very quickly. But they've been evolving this whole time, so they're becoming more.
Yes. Yep.
Not as. So I kind of appreciate that a little bit, but yeah, it was wrapped up rather quickly, as we're going to find out with a lot of these episodes. That's usually the case.
And Mr. Matt Borman from TNG Season 2 says, I'm always impressed with the quality of animations on monitors and VFX like the name. Now it's going to data's given us a TV budget. Yes. Certainly totally viable, and you don't need holograms for good effects. I did like that. I didn't like how they didn't really chastise Stubbs.
For murder? Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of gloss over it. Like I said, they're thinking not on those terms anymore. But I did like how he says it was fine work. He never technically apologizes. He just says he regrets his action, which is not the same thing. And he says, but my work was important. So I appreciate he's so in character. He doesn't say, I'm sorry I killed you all. He never says that. And
sorry I killed your great ancestors.
Yeah. That was our ancestral birthplace of 27 generations, and you killed them in a second.
Yeah.
It's like, it was 14 minutes. Not the point. Not the point. Not the point. Exterminate you, Kelso.
Your facts are uncoordinated.
But it is very
I love. I love how they say the ship is too confining. We require relocation. And then the next scene, it's like, so.
Done.
As of Dr. Stubbs, planet Cabus Alpha 4 is now dedicated to the new homeworld of the Nanite civilization.
What?
So, yep. So is it a planet full of this stuff that they eat like candy? Is it a computer planet? Did they find these would be the perfect weapons against the Borg, you realize? It's an ally against the Borg.
Oh my god, could you imagine though, right? A short trek. Wait for it. Where you start out in some room, and you zoom, and then you get a Borg nanite, nanoprobe, and this nanite, and then they're walking up in a corridor, and they're in a conversation, and it's like, the negotiation of the nanites. Because the only ones that can negotiate with Borg nanoprobes is the nanites that we left on the nanite homeworld. It's a stupid short track, it'd be meant to be funny and silly, and no, I assume though the planet has amazing amounts of natural resources that build to a thing. It has amazing copper, and they can just eat copper for 1 billion years.
Maybe, yeah.
But really, you need composite materials. I assume it's not just gold or just whatever. But I mean, surely a planet's also quite constricting. But they never imply they can get bigger. But you kind of just get the sense that just replicators from Stargate at that point, they're just going to be able to evolve and get bigger and form cities and then form people, and then it'll just be but hey, we're never going to talk about them again, so it's fine.
Legit.
And is there any risk to the ship now?
No!
So what happens next?
Well, they launched the egg.
Oh. So back to
and
Stargate
all of a sudden, yeah. And they get the explosion they were waiting for. And all of a sudden, all the data starts pouring in, and Stubbs is just in heaven. He's doing his thing. It's great. Yay. I love how Picard's looking back. Everything all right, Mr. Stubbs? Or Dr. Stubbs? And he keeps not even paying attention. It's everything's good.
Dr. Stubbs? No. Okay, well, that was worth my trip, wasn't it?
Well, he's not answering me. Shut down the station.
What?
That's all power.
I said, how's it going? Good! Excellent. Go back to
power
work.
Back on, please. Thank you.
That's all I wanted, Stubbs.
It's my bridge. You answer me when I talk to you.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if Walters walks up to him and says, the captain asked you a question? But it does feel odd, though, that it just goes right back to the first scene, basically. In essence. Good for the doctor guy. But it's oh, okay. Sure. And then what an awful explosion effect. Didn't you think?
I noticed that too, yeah.
I didn't buy that for a single second. It was a star exploding sort of again, expelling matter. It's a 2D explosion they've moved right and scaled up. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's not believable at all. It looks
compared to the rest of the effects in this episode, it's shit.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you're next to two suns where light would be strong and you wouldn't see particulates and it just goes over. So what, the explosion has travelled half a light year, like, you know, thousands of meters in seconds, go past the sun and not be sucked into a sun's gravity and be just... It's really stupid. Like, it's fine, but it's like, wow, Remastered, you really kept the quality there. But I mean, that's, you know, one effect out of a lot of really good ones. So
Yeah.
you're allowed the dud of the episode. Well, I will say these exterior shots of the Enterprise, while I love the fact that we've now got varied shots, I think we're both noticing a lot of the same shots again and again. Like, those reuses were getting a bit excessive in seasons 1 and 2, you know, the original 6 foot. So 4 foot is now in. We now have the ability to make easier, quicker, cheaper shots. That said, this shot in particular, that, I don't know about you, but the source looks super low detail. Like, love the lighting, but it looks like a cheaper model. Because it's just a lot like it just feels less detailed to me. Like, it's an interesting trade-off, you know?
I didn't really notice anything like that, but I just thought it was a great looking shot.
But now I've
Didn't
said
notice
that,
it.
but that source looks like too smooth and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the lighting. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I know. Oh, and then the coaster moment. Sure.
Yeah, that was hilarious. The stuff your drink puts the coaster under.
Why not?
Why? It's a glass bar. It's not like it's wood. It's going to damage the wood.
It's cute, though. And
It
it's kind
is,
of,
like
kind of
a-
saying, in my bar, my rules.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
Or it's saying, you've been...
This-
Actually, no, they haven't met yet. So it's like, you might not know me, Mrs. Crusher, but coasters. That's my jam.
Yeah. It's a great scene though. Do you have any children, Guinan?
Yep.
A lot. Any trouble relating to any of them? Just one. Wouldn't listen to anybody. Well, they all go through that. Not in a species of listeners. Did he grow out of it? Took several hundred years, but I managed to bring him around. So we got a little bit of Guinan's backstory. She's had multiple husbands. She has lots of kids. One trouble kid. And then Wesley comes in with a hot chick, and all the kids are dressed in like neon 1980s clothes for some reason.
It's the future!
And then she's like, oh, that girl's so into him. What do you know about her? Like, really? That was kind of dumb.
Although you never really get a sense of her face. Well, I guess that. You know, this makes me appreciate, why isn't Wesley allowed to date? That would have been a nice subplot. You know? He's got a girl in episode 1, goddammit. They've got arms around each other's waists. Allow him to have a girlfriend arc. Come on. And why the hell isn't he in a fun non-uniform? Why is Wesley in uniform? Why do he wear his uniform for a date with the other kids? Come on.
Because he's showing off to them, like, look at me, I'm important.
Yeah.
No, he does get the love interest. He gets Ashton Judd later. He gets the shapeshifter girl in last season.
I know, but an actual arc would have been fun. Like, there's a girl right there. She was hired. She's right there. Although it's funny, just a little side note. In Temporal Anomaly, what the TNG character is called Susan Dumont, and I was very careful to pick characters that exist as names, not people, who link to the Enterprise. And Susan Dumont is actually a lady that there's a scene where Wesley says he's going to go on a date with her to Geordie, Susan Dumont. So, known character. When we get to her, I'll reference. It's like, Susan Dumont, that's my character.
Cool.
But yeah, I think this scene with Beverly's great, actually. It's and yeah, the Guinan stuff is really gold. I mean, it puts into more things in perspective. The Enterprise B, like, well, obviously we had her, you know, in the olden days past of Earth, but I mean, you know, hundreds of years is just, you know, teenage maybe for one of her children. Add more years to that. I mean, you could easily extrapolate 1,000, if not more, years old happily. And the amount of I kind of wish you'd saw Guinan's child. That would have been a nice episode to have one of her children. That's such a throw out line of all my many kids. It's like, oh, to have a kid. Yeah.
She's kind of like Phlox that way. You hear about his wives, multiple wives, and their kids, but you never see any of. Well, you see one wife.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And don't you like the jelly beans that she's eating?
Are they jelly beans?
Well, you know what I mean, like that.
Oh,
that
yeah,
vibe.
They look like hard candy or something, but yeah.
Well, I think it's TOS. Like, that's a bit of TOS right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like Beverly going from being really like, yeah, son, go get the girl. Oh wait, it's a girl. Shit, girls. No. It's nice. Yeah. It's good. I can imagine Gates was pretty happy with actually getting stuff.
And Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $2.
Thank
We hit 100. Awesome sauce. Can we get to 150? Hashtag make me pay. 153 of you here, which is awesome. While I have this many here, before we lose any of you guys, because we're wrapping this up, we are having a special stream tomorrow live at the same time, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, with Doug Drexler will be joining us, and he will be answering your questions and stuff as well. So it should be fun.
Shall we tell you about that once again before we close out?
Let's play the thing now, and then give our final scores afterwards.
That's what I mean.
That way people won't leave after our final scores.
That's what I mean. Right. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Hey, everybody. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Cockings, and we've got an announcement!
Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 29th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. in the UK, and 2 p.m. on the California coast, we have a very special guest joining us to join us for our live, where you guys can come and ask him questions, have some good discussion. And who is our guest, sir?
Mr. Epic Designer Man Doug Drexler from many TV shows, but you might just know him as this guy.
Why are you asking me my name?
It's funny.
What is your name, Doug? I'm Doug Drexler, and I worked on Star Trek a long, long time. I've been in more departments than anybody in the history of the show.
And also, this guy.
You guys are here. I didn't even see you come in.
You lied to me. You're wearing pants.
No. Those aren't pants. I actually spray painted my legs and butt black.
And how can we forget this guy?
Hey, I'm Doug Drexler, and welcome to Trekyards.
Is that easy?
Oh, and, of course, this guy.
And it was driving me nuts that they were going to be doing Star Trek, and I wasn't there. And John says, why don't you call up Bob Justman? And I'm like, are you crazy? I can't go. And I go, yeah, why don't I just call up Bob Justman? He's right. I call as a professional, you know.
Make a call. Yeah.
I got on the phone, and I said, I need the Paramount. And I called the Paramount switchboard, and I said, in my most adult voice, I said, yes, this is Doug Drexler. I'd like to speak to Robert H. Justman in the Star Trek Art Department. And she said, one moment. And I'm like, John, you're putting me through.
He's so much of the guy, we even went to his house and had a brilliant lunch.
When I opened the front door, they were both naked at the front door. That's the truth.
So that guy, Doug Drexler, wonderful guy, designed so many great ships and things and worked on BSG and others. Definitely worth coming on to that. Live Q&A with the man himself.
That's right. So we hope to see you guys there. So mark it on your calendar, set a reminder on your computer or your phone, be there, and come and ask your questions and have some fun. So until then, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Cockings, and he will be Doug Drexler.
This guy.
It was really weird seeing them for the first time in person because there's usually this, electronic shield that separates us from one another and also quite a long distance. And I didn't count on how frightening it would be to actually meet them in person.
There we go.
Gotta love Doug. I forgot how much fun he was.
I try to get a nice variety of clips to kind of yes, we've had him and known him for a while now. Had him on the show.
Oh, yes.
Long time now.
Yep, absolutely. So tune in tomorrow if you can.
Mm-hmm.
But today, we have some points to hand out here. So, new season, new uniforms, new shots. Like you said, new 4-foot model for them to work with. Even got a new set with the computer core access room. And Beverly's back. The writing was awesome this time. Good plot, I think. Again, they haven't really gone the way of the A-B story yet. This was all kind of one. We get the odd one in season 2, and then it becomes more of a thing later in TNG. But overall, fantastic. We had Guinan back for this one. Very excellent writing, good dialogue, nice little scenes, good paced, I think.
Possibly a little too slow, but close.
Yeah, it bordered on the could be too slow. Good shuttle-based scenes. I mean, there's a lot in this episode which is good, and I can see why when season 3 hits, people say that's when it gets good, because it's the Star Trek they kind of know with the uniforms and stuff. But yeah, I think it's great. For all of season 3, I'm gonna give this a. We've done so many for season 3; it's hard to say. This will get a solid 7 out of 10 for me. For all of TNG, though, I'll put this one at a 6.5. It's good. It's not anything too special, but I think it's good enough.
Mm-hmm. And as we hit the final moments, guys, we've been pretty light on super chats today. Actually, like pretty light. So if we can do a final super chat or like another 20, would be great. But hey, we'll still be here either way. But it would be nice. Okay, there are your scores. And if you want to hear your scores, then put them in super chat. Put them in the chat now. And my scores. Final thoughts. Yeah, I think this is a very solid, if not exceptional. There are lots of little nice dialogue bits, but the story isn't that strong. It's like an average story enhanced by good little moments and a good guest star and good effects. But it's very average in terms of like a good classic story, but it really could have been better. Do you know what I mean? It had more potential that it did not reach. But I think they were stretching already with the amount of things they were doing. They just didn't quite, it was one step too not far. This would have been a better like Orville episode, so they could have taken the ridiculous one more level. Like have the nanites evolve into a full person by the end. It's like, oh wow, and this is Orville, this is Nanite Man. Hello, I am Nanite Man. Like they could have gone even more far with it, but that's But like I say, it achieves in many ways, and yeah, there is definitely a quality improvement in production quality, which helps. And it's definitely not a bad episode by any stretch. And as I say, it's my first time really watching it, I guess. And it's good, not great. Some good moments, no real bad moments. And I think the reason I think it's a little bit too slow is because it needs like one more event to happen, or some other level, because we get 3 scenes in the cargo bay, same exact setup, whatever, and you know what I mean. Or it needs like another Guinan scene, or another scene with something, just something else, another little nugget of enhancement to the story. But it is fun. It's just nothing particularly special,
Okay. Yeah.
But a very solid start. So I think season 2, I mean, it's got to be a 6, and that's it would have been a 5 probably for season 2. But the effects, I think, bringing up the imaginativeness. I know it's like the same angle every time, but it still looks great every time. I think all TNG, you got to give it a 5. It's got, it's good. It's good. Most Trek's better, and there's quite a lot of worse. It's good. Yeah, but that's not bad. I mean, all TNG is a lot of TNG. So I'm not being harsh. It just didn't reach the potential it could have.
Oh, we got some super chat scores here. We got Fleet Pass Swift back with $2.
Thank you.
7 out of 10 for season 3.
Okay.
6 out of 10 for all of TNG. Solid episode and funny too.
Couple of funnies. Oh, wait, hold on. Dan23, 1 out of 10. Damn, sir, why? That's drastic. Jeez.
I'd say it's drastic.
Continue.
SWTX Chaser, $15.
Oh!
That is awesome. Thank you very much. Just because, Commander, how would you disco-verse this episode?
Well, I will answer when we read out the next super chat to make you happier.
All right, Tenchi 2K7 puts in $5. 6.5 out of 10 for all of TNG. 6 out of 10 for season 3.
Ooh, that could happen in the season. To be fair, I think the season that could happen. How do I disco it? Both suns are alive. The nanites came from the suns. The nanites can speak fluent English. The nanites are actually smarter. They evolve into space life forms that end up taking the sun and like expanding to a super sun. But they make the Discovery fly far away. But
they bow down to their master, Burnham.
Oh no, Burnham works out how to create ultra mega sun defending shields. So as the sun expands past the Discovery manages to survive inside of a full sun. A super sun, they call it literally. They're going to create a super sun. Is that even theoretical? Yes, but only in ultra theory. But luckily, Section 31's already developed a resistance against it.
And we've got all the parts we need to build the generator.
Well, no. It just Burnham's just has to turn it on. Every ship is pre-designed with it, a theoretical device, because just in case of Burnham, because her mum was Section 31, it's in her records. There you go. She turns it on. They are inside a sun. They spore drive outside of the sun, back to Earth. But some of the nanites come along with them, and in doing so, they evolve and they become alien life forms. And they say goodbye. Thank you, Michael Burnham. You have saved us. And she's like, you're welcome, because we are Starfleet. And they're like, you are Starfleet. And everyone's like, yes, fucking Discovery. And we're like, oh, god damn this show. And there you go.
That was good. That
Thank
was
you.
good.
Good idea with the Burnham thing. That was a good link. Just sounds stupid, doesn't it?
You're good.
Thanks. And that would have been a 9 out of 10. For Discovery Season 1. No, okay. I don't know.
Good super chat, SWTX Chaser. Thanks for that.
Gave you 15 worth.
Hey. Episode from now on. How would we change this to make it disco quality?
Non-super chat review scores. 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 6.5, 8 out of 10. That's some pretty high ones. They're not quantifying out of all the show or not, but hey ho. 7.5 out of 10 for this season. 7 out of 10 for all TNG. Pretty close there. 5.5 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 8 out. Wow, some really high scores here. Cool. Yeah.
Fleet Pot Swiftback, $2. Take your prize, Sam. LOL.
Thank you.
I gotta ask. Do I look haggard? Do I look tired? Because I think I just realized how shitty I look.
Let me look at the high resolution version of your mild screen.
I was outside. I cut the grass and I did some outside stuff.
I mean,
okay.
all I see is your goatee is really effing long. I just did looking at old clips and it looks really long.
Ooh.
I remember it being nice and subtle, and now it is not nice and subtle.
I know. I've been thinking of trimming it. I don't know. We'll see.
How long did that take? 'Cause you haven't trimmed much.
I don't know. This took me 46 years.
I was hoping for
shaved once.
Oh wait, what? Really? What?
No, I'm just kidding. It just takes me a long time to grow any facial hair at all. Yeah. So, anyway.
Hey, at least it's darker, not ginger. Mine is full on ginger. Wouldn't work. Doesn't look good on me.
Mm.
Cool. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, thank you. People are saying I don't look haggard, and a lot of people like this, and I like it too because it elongates my face.
Oh god, yeah.
Makes me not look as fat.
Yeah.
I shaved it. The only reason I started growing this part was to hide my double chin, and then it just got longer, and I'm like, oh yeah, it elongates the face. It works.
I would just streamline it by 25%.
That's good. That's good. My super stickers aren't working, says Nanite Negotiator.
Boo.
What do you mean they're not working?
Do not know what to say.
What's it? They should be working.
Jump out and jump back in. See if that works.
With what? Oh yeah, jump out and jump back in. Wait, what? Wait. What if this is the Mirror Universe Foley? Dun dun dun. We'll never know. Fleet Pot Swiftback, $2. Sam needs to grow a beard. Not gonna happen.
Sam cannot grow a beard.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. It doesn't look good for most of it.
Yeah.
So why would I?
That's why I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're gonna film with some guests soon, and I'm already thinking damn it, this is annoying because it means that forever our special episodes, I have worse hair. So it's like, well, it's like I already regret.
We gotta wait till the quarantine's over and get a haircut because I need one too.
Your hair looks fine. Your hair just grows out longer. Mine, no, it looks the same, just longer. Mine looks distinctly more curled and confusing, and I got this massive front. I can't go.
Look at this. It's turned into a let's rate our hairstyle day.
Look, I got this massive front. This is why I was in Greece once in my school, and you can see why I've got Greece hair. You know what I mean? I can absolutely be in Greece. My hair grows that way. Yeah, we sung it. I sung it.
Nanite Negotiator puts in $2 with a thanks sticker. Thanks heart sticker. Fleet Pot Swiftback says at least we both have hair.
Sure. Is that regulation hair now? Did I improve it?
Yes, that's fantastic, man.
Well, I could be if I put someone like if I put a nose on, I could be an
You look
alien,
like
couldn't
Buddy Holly or Elvis or something.
I? I've heard Elvis a lot actually.
Yeah.
No, it's flat.
No, I wouldn't change either of us. We're both awesome.
And now I go forward. Aye. My hair doesn't ever cooperates. It's kind of why it's nice to have it short for a bit.
Yeah. What is the next TNG episode? What is next?
When is the next drunk game? Quite a while. We try and do them infrequently as to keep them special.
The next one is the Ensigns of Command, and that'll be on Thursday.
Sweet. Well, why not tomorrow, Stuart?
Because tomorrow we have a special guest joining us. Doug Drexler's going to be here for live with us.
Drexler.
And you guys get to ask him questions. We're going to give preferential treatment, obviously, to Super Chat questions, as well as members that have joined the channel.
Yep.
So just so you guys know, we'll try to get to other ones if we're running out of other questions, but I think...
We won't be.
I don't think we will be either, because Doug talks a lot, so we're going to have to interrupt him to move on to the next question.
I was about to say, just disclaimer, we will try to... He's giving us time nicely. We all have a lot of time, but he's not going to be here doing a 4-hour live stream, so we might get a bit of a backlog, but we will definitely answer all your super chats, at least ourselves, as much as we can. That's the point. But yeah, it will be fun, and I guess I got to go make that thumbnail, haven't I? Design what the hell that's going to be.
Next, I want to schedule that tonight.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, we will see you tomorrow with Mr. Dougie Drexler. Yeah.
And if this goes well, maybe we'll have Rick Sternbach on in the next week or two. We'll see.
But we by mean well, we mean like pretty well. We want to be, we hope.
Yeah. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah. It's another test, isn't it?
So join us. And spread it around. Share the post we put on the Trekyards Facebook group. Just share it with anybody you think might be interested, and any groups you might be interested.
He doesn't do many.
Get the word out there.
He does very, very few of this sort of thing. So do if you can. Yeah. So final super chats, Jeff. If you wanna read that.
Do we have another one?
I think we did. Yeah.
Erevik Sonder, $2. Are you guys gonna watch Delta Flyers? Oh, that's with Kim and Paris. They do Voyager stuff. I don't know.
I'm definitely more interested in watching Voyager than I am in the DS9 one. No offense to those guys. Just kind of like Voyager. I like, especially as it I'm interested to hear their dissatisfaction with the character stuff. Because DS9, they're going to say a lot of, I got good stuff this episode, or I'm not in this episode. Whereas Voyager would be like, cool makeup, lovely effects, didn't get to do much this week. So what are their perspectives off camera, where they get, the stuff around that stuff. Yeah. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Woo!
Yes, be here. It'll be fun.
Cool. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Welcome to season 3. Woo!